Welcome back to another episode of Goat-Worthy Reactions, where we mainly like to focus on the goats on this channel. And today we're dealing with 4 Billy Goats, man. Shout out to the Beatles, man. Shout out to my boy Jason, actually, because he had pushed this to the front. So y'all can thank Jason. I was going to start this album journey in like 2 weeks, but he said, nah, you need to get to it now. So what we're doing is we're starting from the beginning. We're doing every album, yeah. So if you're watching this, probably because you're on Patreon, or maybe I posted on YouTube to promote the fact that we're going to be on Patreon doing the whole journey. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this video, but I know for sure we're doing the entire journey on Patreon. So hit the description box below and join the Patreon. The link is right there, and join Tier 3, and you'll catch the entire journey with me. So let's get right to it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Damn, they started off early.
Well, she was just 17, and you know what I mean. And the way she looked was way beyond compare.
Hey, turn this up.
So how could I dance with another? Oh, when I saw her standing there.
Hey, let's go.
Well, she looked at me, and I could see that before too long I'd fall in love with her. She wouldn't dance with another. Whoa, when I saw her standing there.
Hey. Hold on. So that sounds like a familiar voice. I feel like I know that they're all singing at this point because I can hear the backup and stuff like that. So Paul's really like the lead vocalist at times. I know they all got their shine. I know they all get their shine, like a lot of you guys explained in the comment section. I get all my knowledge from the comment section. I try my best not to look up certain things with them, just because it's my favorite way to engage. Like, I like to read the comments, and on Patreon we get more personal. So I like to read. You guys can direct message me. You guys can give me clues. You guys can send me links. I'm all open to that on Patreon. It's a beautiful community over there, man. You guys need to come join the community for real. Just outside of the Beatles journey, I'm doing a whole bunch of other journeys as well. I don't know if you guys are into Elvis. I'm doing a 60s and 70s journey. So come join the rock journey over there on Patreon. But also, you have access to me directly, and if you want me to do certain songs, you can literally donate in the Patreon directly to me, and those take first preference. For me, I do whatever Patreon asks first outside of YouTube. So yeah, but anyways, one thing I did look up earlier today, ironically, it's crazy because I'm just now about to talk about a certain lyric that they just said. I'm about to run it back, but he said she was just 17, right, in the beginning or something like that. So something about, I guess they're at a dance or something like that, right? They're kind of depicting themselves as young, but I know this is like 63, right? So if this is their first album, for what I looked up earlier, like 2 hours ago, I did Wikipedia. I wanted to know how old they were when they first started their careers. I just wanted to know how old they were. That's all. I didn't look up anything else. I didn't read anything else. And I saw that one of them was 19, one of them was 20. I didn't look up all their ages, but they were all around the same age, right? Because the one thing that caught my ear was she was just 17, right? Or she was 17, or whatever they said, right? So I'm thinking like 17. Slow down, my ears perk up. But when you think about it, 19, 20 years old, I mean, when people of the 60s or just back in the day, when they say it's a different time, a lot of people today get like really riled up about that, and they say it doesn't matter if it was a different time. But it's like, you got to understand that we're adults. People love having 20/20 vision. They love having hindsight vision. They love looking back and just casting crazy judgment on people, right? Well, you don't know what your grandparents are up to and your great-grandparents are up to. You need to get, the people that made the life for you, gave you that silver spoon, and while you're living all nice and bright, you don't really want to know the truths about that, right? But the truth is, the actual truth underneath the truth is, it was a different time. And when they say different time, they don't mean different ages were sleeping with different ages. They mean that they mean that people carry themselves differently back then. So what I mean, and I think the Beatles are a perfect example of this, right? Because even the music always depicts the climate that we were in at that time. If you ever notice that, when it comes to the great artists, not like these artists of today, but when it comes to like the great legendary artists, a lot of their music depicts the time. I just finished listening to Black Sabbath, what they were talking about, War Pigs. I was blown away by that. I'm just like, wow, they were literally talking about the climate. I just got to listen to Bob Dylan, and he was talking about the climate. I'm just like, yo, Bob Dylan is such a legend. He's such a lyricist. But anyways, so the Beatles, being the GOATs as well, it represents a certain climate. So what I mean by that, right, because I don't spend too much time on it, sorry. But now if you go back to the 60s, it's a completely different time, meaning people carried themselves different. They were more mature. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's okay. I'm okay with a father saying, no, you can't date him. He's 19 or he's 20 years old. And if his daughter's 17 or whatever, I'm okay if a father says, me personally, if I have a daughter, so I'm not speaking crazy right now, right? I'm not speaking out of something I can't relate to. I have a daughter. If my daughter's 17, I know she's gonna be very mature because me and her mother are raising her, and we're doing a great job. You know, so when my daughter's 17 and she meets a boy, because how they meet is important too. She meets a 19-year-old boy organically. You know what I mean? Somewhere at a dance or something like that, right? And he happens to be a nice boy who was raised right, and who was who has parents, and I'm gonna have to speak to their parents, but like getting background information like that, it does matter. The context matters. You know what I mean? And if he's a nice boy, I wouldn't mind it. Honestly, I wouldn't mind it. You say whatever you want to me. I don't really care. You can judge me, whatever. But 20, 21, 22, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We gotta have a conversation. Me and my daughter, anyways. Let her know where I draw the line. But yeah, we're not talking about a 14-year-old dating a 20-year-old. Me personally, once I left high school, I was no longer attracted to high school girls. That's just a mental thing, just me. I just wasn't attracted to high school girls. But also, we don't know what stage they're singing this from. We don't know if they're at the dance. We don't know if they're young. We don't know whoever the writer is. We don't know what state of mind he's coming from. So it's as in, we don't know how old they are. So yeah. Anyways, I'm not casting any judgment. Let's run it back from the beginning. I just wanted to put that out there because that's the first thing that perked my ears up. And ironically, I was looking up their ages before I started this.
1, 2, 3.
Very funky too, by the way. Very funky. I like this. I love that this is the 60s, and it's like this is driving. This sound is actually coming from the 50s. You know what I'm saying? The loud do like that kind of dancing that's actually like a little bit of the 50s, and like they're kind of just bringing in, they're still transitioning into the 60s, which is cool. But everybody does this in their own way. It's crazy how this sounds nothing like any other Beatles song I've heard.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I like this a lot though.
Well, she was just 17.
Something to point out, she was just 17, meaning they're older. So they are telling you where they're at, right? So, and at the time of this song, they were about 19, 20, but how old were they when they wrote this song? You know what I mean? Maybe 18. So it's really not that deep. It's really not that deep. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, she was just 17. You know what I mean. And the way she looked was way beyond compare. So how could I dance with another? Oh, and I saw her standing there.
Hey, I like this a lot. That boy Paul.
She looked at me, and I could see that before too long I'd fall in love with her.
I just want to sing along.
She wouldn't dance with another. Whoa, and I saw her standing there. Well, my heart went boom when I crossed that room, and I held her hand in my
Who's hitting that note?
We danced through the night, and we held each other tight, and before too long I fell in love with her. Now I'll never dance with another. Woo, I saw her standing there.
Oh, that's my favorite right there. Yeah, they're picking up the tempo with the music too. I like that. So the instrumentation is definitely developing as the song goes, right? I almost felt like the beat was gonna, just because of how bouncy it is. Sometimes the beats don't change when they're that bouncy. It's just in music in general, basically because you don't want to mess up the groove, right? You don't want to, because a lot of this music, people actually groove to, and when I mean groove, I mean like they actually hit the dance floor. So when you start off a song with that type of hypeness and that type of groove, it usually never comes back down. It can only escalate a little bit more, right? Just to get you a little more hype. But it usually doesn't de-escalate, just because You don't want to mess up the groove. You know what I'm saying? You get people on the dance floor, everybody's dancing, and then you just de-escalate. It can kind of like ruin the moment. So I do like the fact that the music, the production, I should say, the production continued to become bigger. You know what I'm saying? Just bigger production, more instruments are kicking in, and more so the drums are starting to move a little faster. Not off beat, because I guess they lay 2 tracks down for the drums because they lay them down, and then he started adding more drums. Unless he's just nice like that. I mean, I don't know. I know Ringo's nice and all that, but it sounds like there was 2 layers. But what do I know? I don't know much. Yeah, dope though. I like how just the production, and I like the whole the yelling. The ow reminds me of James Brown a little bit. But yeah, I like that. I wonder who's doing that. It sounded like Paul was leading in the beginning. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell if it was still Paul during the second verse. I love how they let the production breathe, because now people are just getting their groove on. You know what I'm saying? It's just visually, it's just like they depict a culture, a time frame perfectly, because like visually, I can totally see what they're doing. Providing that bass too? Who's providing that? Is that John? Like who's providing that? Well, they all sing, right? So that could be any of them. I keep forgetting. I forget these guys do everything. I'll never dance with another. Since I saw her standing there. Oh, since I saw her standing there. Yeah, well, since I saw her standing there. Different time, all right. Yeah, they were making classic music back then. That's the different time. That's the difference. How was it that, I know a lot of people was giving me a lot of smoke in the comment section when I said, do they play instruments? And y'all gave me hell for that. Hey, well, listen, I don't mind if I sound ignorant or look stupid, because at the end of the day, at least I'm being honest. I don't know much about them. I thought, because in my world growing up, boy bands or whatever were just like, they just sang. They didn't play any instruments. Like, look at NSYNC and, Backstreet Boys and Blackstreet, 112. These guys probably play a little piano and stuff like that. But, Jagged Edge, I'm thinking of all the bands that I grew up listening to. Even Destiny's Child, right? Even the girl bands, like, they just you didn't see them playing any instruments. So I was just wondering. I was like, hey, do they play any instrument? Because at this point, still till now, I haven't watched not one video of them. So I don't even know what they look like at work, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I was just unfamiliar. That's all. And, yeah, and I was assuming with the rules of today, with the talents of today, which is they don't play instruments. They might play piano, but they're not crazy nice with it. You know what I mean? And like, it's just amazing that these guys are so young at this time, right? Playing all these instruments. And from what I've read in the comment section is they play every instrument you hear in their songs. Like, they do that, which is interesting, because that means they're cutting out the production side, as far as like, the people making the instrumentals. They're doing them themselves. Like, that is just amazing talent. the bands of today, they got all they got to do is they don't even have to write the music anymore. Like they don't even got to write music. I found out that NSYNC and B2K and all these guys didn't write any of their music, which that's not a big knock to me. Like I don't really, not that I don't mind. You get extra points for writing the music, but it's not that it's a big knock to me that you don't write the music, because to me it's all about the deliverer. Like how do you deliver it? Because you can write the best music, but if you can't make it sonically pleasing to the ear, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares. So you got to make it sound really good. I mean, Elvis, right? He was the greatest at that. He just made it sound really good. He didn't write it though. He didn't write it. So, and that's still mind-boggling to me. And from what I've read though about Elvis, in the comment section, anyways, is that he did change the lyrics a lot. So you get writing credit for that, and I think that's cool. Sometimes you got to alter it to fit you, right? But shout out to the Beatles for writing their music, making the music, and then coming together with different personalities to make it work. But you know what? Everybody played their role. It's a shame that their reign, and like it didn't end, because they, today they're still legendary. Look at me, I'm here 60 years later reacting to it. But it's a shame that the group didn't last as long. But you know what? I got to get into Paul's career. I got to get into John Lennon's career and see what they were doing individually. I'm interested in that as well. But yeah, man. You're here. We're here, guys. We're headed towards Beatlemania. You know what I'm saying? We're taking it easy. We're starting from the beginning. I'll be reading the comment section. So if you're on Patreon, leave me some of the backstories of each song. By every song that I go through, give me a little bit of backstory of each song. That way I'm able to follow along and to carry it through the album. You know what I mean? So that I'm able to carry information over to the next song. Some people are telling me, oh, just go read and watch interviews. I'm just like, I'm going to do those interviews and stuff like that. But my way of learning about certain groups is from the people, the fans, not from media outlets, not from all these places that lie about people and lie about artists all the time. You know what I'm saying? I was lied to by Elvis my whole life. So, yeah, I'd rather speak to the people who adore these, I don't want to say celebrities, but just these human beings, right? These artists, like the people who adore them tend to be biased, yes, but tend to give you all the brighter sides of the artist, and that's what I want. That's what I want. I'm not into the negativity. I'm not into all the BS and the drama. I'm not into that. If it comes with the music, then we could talk about it, but that's just not where I'm at. Like, I don't spread negativity or nothing like that. So let's get it, man. The next song is going to be Misery. I'll see you on the next record. Join the Patreon. Join the Journey. Like, share, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. And appreciate you. God is love. Christ is King. We out.